And happy Mother's Day. I know it's not Mother's Day, but I thought I'd take a wild swing at it. I missed it last year. I should know, I have 3 kids of my own. 3 kids. We have hundreds of photos of our first child. Hundreds. Just dozens of our second, a handful of our third. There may be a 4th child. There's no physical record of it, ladies and gentlemen. I think you know how it goes. It just gets more and more difficult, doesn't it? Our first child, we brought her home from the hospital. I bet we waited 2 weeks before we took her anywhere outside of the real world where all those germs awaited. 2 weeks. Second child, just about a couple days. Took him on a stroll around the block. Our third child, we swung by Home Depot. Well, we needed more of those plastic outlet covers. You kids should shoot the ones we already had attached to the wall. Our first child, when she dropped a pacifier, we'd scoop it up and boil it for 30 minutes. She'd be crying for 29. It's not ready yet. I'm sorry, honey. Please. Go. You learn. By the second child, you draw this pacifier. I just pick it up and run out of the hot water for a minute or two. By the third child, you drop a pacifier. I just pick it up, put it in my mouth. Then I got to do that for it. It's ready to go. Took the bowl for it. Go ahead. Mind yourself. Not like that perfume. Now, there's nothing more difficult than kids. Nothing more difficult than raising kids. You can ask anybody, hey, you want to shovel fresh manure for 8 hours or take care of 3 kids? Hand me a shovel. Because at least the manure will work with you. You move it, it stays. Kids fight you every step of the way, especially when they're 2 or under. They have no idea of your agenda. I just got you dressed. You go outside, stimulate your mind. Don't take off that shoe. It's hard to put on. Don't take off that sock. Don't take off that. Now you're naked. You're naked and undressed. Where do we go like that? Where? Berkeley. No, it's much easier in the workplace than it's at home with kids. You have the same trivial, petty concerns with coworkers you do with kids. You're not going to go to a coworker and go, hey, Bob, are you ready for a presentation? The title's good. Are you poopy? I can smell something, Bob. Just do this here. Come over here. Come over here. Turn around. Turn around. Yeah, we need to change you. Come on. And you grown-ups out there that don't have kids, God bless you. I wish your lives to be as full to the point of tears of joy every other day. But don't kid yourself that you know what it's like to have kids because you have a pet and have to keep it alive. Just once tie my little girl to the tree in the front yard and run an errand for 30 minutes. You know? Leave a bucket of water and toilet paper. She would have been fine, right? Not the same. Take your little girl in the emergency room. How much is an appendectomy? You're kidding me. We're just put her down. That's too expensive. How much is the juice, by the way? Now, the difference between having kids in your life and not having kids in your life is the difference between being in a movie and being in real life. Let me explain. Because a couple without kids is like being in a movie, as far as I'm concerned. Truly, I mean, a couple without kids say, hey, let's go to San Francisco. The next shot is the plane landing. How's that fun? See, a couple with kids say, hey, let's try and go to the grocery store. And then Sean's them wandering around the house going, where's your other shoe? Where'd you take it off? Where did you put it? Do you remember? Where were you playing? Where is it? The trade-off is, I mean, there's a lot of trade-offs. One, you get to experience unconditional love, if you want that in your life. The other is you be around someone that is that full of wonder of life. 2 or under, it opens your eyes to be around an infant, a young toddler, because everything in the world is important to them. And we become numb to our experiences in life, pretty much. I mean, I don't mean to sound like Eckhart Tolle, but I will have a session after the show. Anyway, no, I mean, a 2-year-old, as an example, many years ago, my kids are all older now, but, you know, a cigarette butt on the sidewalk. A disgusting, trivial piece of garbage, but she's fascinated by it. Never seen one before. Picks it up, started playing with it. Well, I took it away from her. That was mine! my wife and I were in diapers for 7 years. Then we had the kids. We argued for the longest time whether we were going to spank our kids or not. I said, let's wait till they do something wrong. Little timetable, isn't it? It used to be they didn't wait a second to spank. It used to be the second you're born, you could spank right there, they'd pull you out, hang you upside down, smack, welcome to the world. Well, this place sucks. What I did to you? Our first child, that was a very difficult delivery, our first child. 27.5 hours of labor. Oh yeah, we got the whole thing on videotape. It's a Time Life collection. Well, I knew trouble was afoot. One of the warning signs for some women that they're about to be in labor, some women get this burst of energy just before labor begins. They start running around the house, doing little errands, nesting things, cleaning. I knew trouble was afoot when my wife went out in the backyard and tried to remove a stump. She walked out that thing and said, something is coming out today. I was coaching her, pull! That's your joke now. I didn't want to know the sex for the birth. My wife wanted to know. Who could blame her if you had 7 pounds of something growing inside you? Wouldn't you be a little curious? What the hell is it? So she went in for all these ultrasound, sonogram, stud finder. They took all these ultrasound pictures, they still weren't sure of the sex of the baby. Every time we took a picture of the baby, it was in this position. I started a kid recently. I was in an airplane. I was on this plane. I was sitting in coach on an aisle seat. Plane hadn't left the gate yet. There was a little boy in front of me, maybe 5 to 7 years old. I'm not exactly sure of his age. I never saw him, but I heard him. Oh, everybody in the plane heard this little boy. I want to sit by the window. You said I could sit by the window. How come I'm not sitting by the window? You promised me I could sit moving there by the window. I mean, it was that repetitive, that annoying. I mean, people are turning and looking at the seat in front of me, and I'm thinking, is somebody going to deal with this kid? And finally, between the 2 seats in front of me, I see the dad lean in. I'm over here. Son, I know I promised you a window seat, but the plane is full. That's the last seat on the plane. You have to sit there and nowhere else for the next 2 hours and sit there quietly. I'm sorry. And he leans out of my view, and the kid is quiet for 15 to 20 seconds. Starts singing, I want to sit by the window. You promised me. How come I'm not sitting by the window? Well, I'm a parent, and you know, parents out there, that one of the things you got to teach your kids is no. Can't have everything. No. Even Bill and Melinda Gates' kids cannot have everything. They can't have this shirt. This is my shirt. I invite them to make an offer. But you can't have everything. One, you've got to teach your kids limits. Well, this flight attendant, I don't think she was a parent. She got involved, started asking people on this plane, will you move? Will you move? Yes. And she got someone to move, countermanding the limits, reality, father set for his own child. So I thought somebody ought to say something to her. So after she relocated the kid, I pulled her over and I said, I want to sit in first class!